resonated with me in today's world, but I think smartphones are really dumbing down society. And the reason I say that is people will spend a quarter or a third of their life just scrolling their phone all day. The problem with that is I think we've lost the art of actually thinking deeply about what we want. Where I think part of Primerica is you have to be brutally honest with yourself. Um, no excuses. The buck starts and stops with you, and you have to actually sit down and lay out exactly what you want, and then actually lay out the exact price that you have to pay, and then go decide to overpay it. To me, it's pretty simple. But the challenge is people don't really think deeply what they want. And it's so important because how you think is going to be how you feel, and how you feel is going to lead to how you act. And,
People,
Nate Keller in my office did a good job on Saturday explaining that there's producers and there's consumers, right? And it's just like on social media, you have content creators and then you have consumers that just scroll all day long. Well, in Primerica, we need more producers and more leaders that think a little bit outside the box, take some personal responsibility and go build it. So.
a thing that I was asked recently after we got the Ruby, somebody said, "Hey, what is making a million like versus 900? I return more money to God. Doesn't really change my life a lot. It's just I have more ability to do more for other people." And then somebody asked a question about in the start, what were keys? Well, one of the keys was this: if I was scheduled to work tonight, I would not go home until after 9 p.m. I would not. I would find something, and I don't mean going and playing video games or going to the tavern or something. I mean, I would go to somebody's house. I would knock on the door. I would do whatever I had to do. I refused to go home before 9 p.m. Because if I'm telling people this is what I'm going to do, and then my actions aren't following my words, who can trust me? Who can believe in me? I mean, nobody. So, it's been said, it doesn't take forever, but we have to do what other people aren't willing to do if we want to have what other people have, right? Ben, makes 100 grand a month to wake up. Well, everybody would love that, but would they be interested in doing what he did to get there? Well, no, I'd like to skip that. Well, that's not real. And as he said, this is not a fun, sexy talk, but it's a real talk. I mean, nobody that makes a bunch of money today fell into it. Okay, they worked, they did what was uncomfortable for a while to get comfortable for the rest of their life. And many people are trying to avoid the discomfort just to get to where they want to be. And boy, if you figure that out, please tell us. We'd all like to know. But WORK, if you don't know what to do an appointment. That's the answer. That's really the answer. And if you don't have an appointment, schedule appointment. If you don't have anybody to call, prospect for appointment. If you do those things, you're going to get successful at some point.
Hey, real quick, not to digress, but Ben, you were mentioning relationships, having professional relationships. Could you share, what you would do, what you would say to introduce yourself or to start that relationship with a professional?
Yeah, so let's say, Mark, let's say you're a brand new advisor that I just brought on board and let's just say you're west of me and you're in Hanover. Um, I would, do a search, what I've online for maybe 10 independent CPAs that I could call. And let's say Kurt's one of them. And hey, Kurt, we're in the process of expanding our client base in Hanover. We have an office in York, and we manage about almost 400 million in assets, and we're looking to open up a branch office in Hanover. Obviously, most of our business is in financial planning and wealth management. We know how important tax planning is, but obviously we don't do that. So I was wondering if I could meet with you on Monday or Tuesday for a quick Zoom just to to see if it would make sense to network together and share clients. That's it. And then that meeting, I'm just really asking them questions, Mark, as to, hey, what's a good referral for you? Is there certain tax work that you like to specialize in? If I would talk to one of your clients, what would they say about you? I always ask what their pricing is because my clients are going to ask that. And then again, oftentimes I would say, hey, let's say Mark's the CPA I'm calling. Hey, Mark, if it's okay with you, it might make sense just to do your financial plan, no cost, no obligation, just to give you a free second opinion on exactly what our process is. Because that way you kind of can determine, is this something I would want to refer to my clients? So that was whether it was an HR director or a CPA, I would try to get them as a personal client, and then it's game over. Obviously, CPAs, they could get licensed with us and maybe they want to do the work themselves. Maybe they want to be a silent agent and get referrals, commissions, whatever. But just essentially call people and you're interviewing them. You're looking for a referral partner. That's the process.
You're giving them something to see that you could give them back.
Yeah. So if I called a small business, let's say it's a random electrician. Again, if I had to start over right now, I'd do the same darn thing. If you're an electrician, hey, Mark, I came across your contact information. I'm always looking for good people to refer my clients to. Could I buy you coffee Monday or Tuesday just to see if we could help each other out from a networking standpoint? Most people would not say no to that because of the FOMO. If I don't set up an appointment with Ben, I might not get these referrals. So then that coffee meeting, 20 minutes worth of questions. And then I would usually end by showing them a sample financial needs analysis. And same thing, say, why don't we set up an appointment, Mark, with you and your wife, do your plan. Again, no cost, no obligation, because then you would know if it's something that you want to refer to other people. And in the meantime, I'll go back and look at my contact list and see if there's some other people I need to introduce to you that could use your services. So when marketing, provide value first, because or take an indirect approach, value add first or indirect approach, because then you don't come across as an idiot salesperson just trying to sell somebody on something. That would be my recommendation.
Great. Bert, do you have any final thoughts, or either one of you have some final thoughts?
No, obviously MPI today was a little different than normal, but the truth of the matter is there's 100 ways to skin the cat with your investment philosophy. But if you aren't working and seeing people, your philosophy is irrelevant because nobody knows about it. You're a secret advisor. So at the end of the day, if you like that strategy or that strategy or that strategy, it's get in front of people and do more appointments and learn. I know Ben's got an education background in economics or whatever. I'm an electrician background, so perfect for finance. Here's the thing. I don't think he learned his skills in school. I think he learned his skills in front of people, getting his butt kicked once in a while and going, oh, that didn't work. Okay. And then maybe learning from that and moving forward. And that's the thing I think a lot of people miss. They want to be successful, but we have to put ourselves out there. We have to get uncomfortable sometimes. And that's painful. But it's only painful for a while. And how can you help other people if you've never had any pain yourself? You want to be able to get real experience.
Yeah, and Kurt, to answer that, I did have a finance and economics degree, but I learned more from trading stocks in college on my own portfolio for extra beer money than I learned from professors that had never run a business in their entire life. So, and I won't get into how broken the education system is, but to your point, you learn by doing.
100%.
Thanks, guys. You guys are great.
Hey, we got everyone back, and I know, Ben and Kurt, you're still on the screen there, and for all these people that were in all these other rooms, I can only imagine all the questions that were happening in your room, and why don't you give us a quick recap of some of the topics and the things that were covered today?
Well, Ben talked about marketing. Ben's an ace in marketing, so he talked a lot about marketing. Both of us talked about WORK. Get in front of people, tell the story more, and give different strategies, different ideas. We talked about, Ben calls it marketing, I call it referrals, prospecting, however you want to call it. But ultimately, more presentations equals more impact, equals more money, bottom line.
Love it. Nick, you're this guy that's so confident you didn't even know what you were going to be talking about initially today, and you just got so much value that you just like, oh yeah, okay, I'll talk about that, and away you go. Share with us what you shared in your room today.
Oh, just building a business, and the words I've used is patiently aggressive, but the 15, 25, 50 million, right, in AUM, the first 15 million is a dogfight. It's all on you, and whether you recruit people to do it or you do it on your own, either way, you're pretty much involved in all of it. It's a little bit messy, but when you get to 15 million, you become a professional or start to become one, and then the referrals start coming in that you don't ask for. And at 25 million, it's 15 million on steroids, and 50 million, it's even bigger. And then it's just a matter of how long you want to grow and how big you want to get. You want to be a Kurt Pool, or you want to do less, and everybody has that choice, but the residual income and the business is built, and you can just enjoy it.
So do you think that people should set a specific goal and then reset their goals? Is that an important part of it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm an activity goal person. I would never been able to have a goal based on anything but activity. So it's how many appointments I want a week. That was how I built my business. I never, you don't know who's got money, who doesn't, who needs life insurance, who doesn't. But if I was doing my 20 appointments a week, something good would happen.
Wow, you just reiterated like what Kurt said. You got to work. And Dave, share with us a little bit what went on in your room.
Everybody's going to pass their test on the first try. It's going to be amazing. All of them, including the 65.
I love it. Collaborative effort. And I think that we've got something special now that we didn't have before. So I think it's everyone's a benefactor. So I appreciate you pouring that out for us. Vic, share with us what was happening in your room today.
Sure. Thank you, guys. We were helping some guys to how to expand the referral system with the people at their work, how to turn this amazing career to empower them finance and decide and to take the best decisions and the wise decision to build their financial future, and how to prepare the terrain when we are requesting referrals. Because as I said, the example when this little kid knocked the door and asked the mom, "Hey, can I play with my friend?" The mom needs to know where you're gonna go, at what time, is it safe? That's the thing that our clients need to know when we request our referrals, because their referrals are their sons for them. And once they know how was your experience during the rollover, the decision, how was your result, do you want that result, your referrals that you're gonna refer to me, experience, have, and you are their best referral to them? Oh yeah, call my best friend, call my aunt, my friend. And that was some of the questions that they had on the delay, asking referrals, and I could help them during my practice years.
I love it. And I just love that you guys are taking charge of that whole Hispanic side of things and showing everybody that it doesn't matter who you are, anybody can be successful. And securities business is absolutely the key fundamental to having a solid business in Primerica. Scott, share with us what you were chatting about on your side.
We had a pretty good room. We had about 480 in our room, and we were just talking about the different referral things that you could build: accountants, attorneys, realtors, car insurance. I shared some examples of what I've gotten over the years from those different relationships, and we had a lot of questions. We spent a lot of time asking questions. I hope it was helpful.
It's always helpful. And I love how you continually expand people's brains to get thinking outside of the little box that they've been thinking in. So, and I appreciate that you're a guy that you've answered a lot of my questions, and you're just willing to help. So I want to thank you for that and appreciate that very much.
Problem.
And so, Mike Devos, maybe you can describe better than I can about actually what went on in our room. That went by pretty fast.
It did go by pretty fast. You know, when you learn to use the financial calculator and you learn those simple presentations of just doing the fin number and drawing things out, this becomes a very easy business. Eldon is very good at what he does, and you can see that, but it's come from time over time over time. So that was an awesome room. We put, like Eldon said, we'll put everything in the chats that we can, because he went through those calculators fast. So we put in the chat how to use the calculator, but just use it over and over, because you can see what he did with that. So that was awesome, buddy.
Thank you. And you know what? Thanks to everybody that's in the background that's been answering questions in every room and in the main room. I think the support and the dedication of the leaders, there is so many people, from the Michelle Shogers to you name it on here. You need a chance to hear from so many more people. That's what MPI is about, is getting so many people that have so much value, getting it in front of you for all of your people and for yourself to help you build a business. And thanks to Home Office for allowing us to run this show. And it's a field-led show. Nothing is recorded. You need to take notes, record it yourself. But you need to block out your time in your calendar. This is one mandatory meeting that you need to be at every single week for you and your team. You've got the best of the company teaching and training your people and helping stretch you so that you can, not only double, triple your business, but get what you came for. So thanks everyone for the fantastic show and the effort that you put in, and look forward to seeing everybody here again this next week. Bye for now.